Hello, viewers. Today I'm going to do something different. I am going to provide commentary on one of Xiaoli's brewing videos. Now, I've mentioned Xiaoli's channel on a previous video of mine. There are a lot of great videos on her channel. One of the things about the channel is that the titles are in Chinese when you're searching for them or when you're scrolling through them on her channel page. And then when you click on them, that's when you see the title in English that's been auto-translated. So it's quite difficult to find these unless you know Chinese. And also, even though some of the newer videos of hers do have English subtitles, these older ones with the brewing of red yeast rice wine, they only have Chinese subtitles. So that inspired me. I wanted to understand the entire. I wanted to understand her recipe, and also want to share what I've been able to understand with you. So that's the goal for today. I'm going to comment on a particular video of hers. I chose this video because it shows the whole process and the proportions for her recipe. And there's actually two different versions of this video edited differently on her channel. So I'll put links to both of them in the description. You should really watch both of them. They cover slightly different things. The first version, which I'm going to comment on today, just has the subtitles. There's no talking at all in it. And the second version, it's the same process, but it's edited differently, and she's talking as she's doing the steps. I watched both of them. The one that's going to be easier for me to comment on and translate is the first one. And so I encourage you to watch her original video. And if you don't know Chinese, just refer back to my video for the translations. So let's get into it. The title of this one in English is Chinese Rural Girl Uses Ancestral Craftsmanship and Brews Old Wine. So that's traditional wine. Let's start watching. All right, so she's getting water from the stream. And here's a lot of sweet rice. So the subtitles here say 50 gene of sweet rice soaked 2 days. And a gene is a unit of weight, 500 grams, so about a pound, a bit more than a pound. So she's going to be using more than 50 pounds of rice, 25 kilograms. Okay, she's cleaning everything off in the stream. Okay, now here the subtitles say, add water to the pot to boil. And here the subtitles say, cleaning the sweet soaked rice and drain. These are steps we're all familiar with as brewers. Okay, subtitles say, pour the rice into the steamer, literally the steam bucket, as you can see. Subtitles say to shovel it into a mountain cone shape. That's what subtitles say to use chopsticks to poke a few small holes. Okay, so it's After the rice is cooked, cover with the lid for 5 minutes. That's to make sure everything is steamed equally. She's actually steaming half of it. She's steaming the rice in 2 batches. That's 1 batch in that steamer. And she says, oh, it's she can't move it. She has to call for help to move it. That's the sweet rice spread out to cool down. Cover the bottom of the tank with a layer of the red yeast. Wait until the temperature is not hot, not cold, not hot to the touch. Then add the red yeast rice, and the quantity is 5 jin. Stir it well, and then put a piece into the tank. After 1 hour, pour in 75 jin of cold water. Okay, so that tells us the ratio of all the main ingredients. So it's a sealed fermentation for 2 days. By that she means she has a non-porous lid on it held down with that pumpkin. She's wrapped the brewing container in straw because it's quite cool during this season. So 2 days later, poke a few holes with a bamboo stick. Five days later, she stir well. And she changes to a breathable cover, stirs once a day until the bamboo stick can't stand and there's only a thin layer of solids left on the top. Okay, so now she puts the filter cloth on the wine sieve. That's the wine sieve there, and she pushes the wine sieve down. You can see the liquid coming through. Then she makes a scooper and a ladle. Pour some out. All right, so that's the whole recipe. You should watch both versions of this video on her channel. You'll see some more things. But all right, so watching that and figuring out the subtitles, I learned a lot about her recipe. It's very interesting. So from her measurements, there's 50 units of rice, 75 units of water, and 5 units of yeast, the red yeast rice. So that's a ratio of 10, 15, 1. 10 rice, 15 water, and 1 yeast. Okay, so that's important. And also we got all the details about how she stirs and how she tells when the brew is ready to be filtered. Another interesting thing is that she only uses red yeast rice. There's none of those Chinese yeast balls. And also she's using more water than some of the other recipes I've seen. She's using approximately the amount of water that I use in my rice wine recipes. And that might be because it's a cooler temperature, more like the temperatures that I've been brewing at. So I was very happy to see her recipes that maybe were more relevant for the season that I'm brewing in right now. A lot of other recipes I've looked at were really for hotter climates, and they used a lot less water and no stirring at all. So it was quite a different recipe that I read before. This recipe is more like what I'm able to do in my temperature conditions. And as you saw in the video, it was so cold, even she had to put a straw jacket on the brewing container to keep it just a little bit warmer. I really enjoyed watching Xiaoli's video and being able to figure out the subtitles and comment on it. I hope you go and watch her videos now, and I also hope this gives you some ideas for your own brewing plans. It turns out the red yeast rice is not too hard to find. I have found it in many Asian supermarkets. It's actually been easier to find the red yeast rice than the rook. If you want to do some red yeast rice wine brewing, take a look at your Asian supermarket in your area. See if you can find the red yeast rice. So happy brewing. Thank you for watching.